Alright, I know what you're thinking. This is a very strange game for you to be checking out, Potato. I appreciate what you're saying, dear viewer. However, this is Little Rocket Lab, and there is actually a tremendously large amount of automation in this game. In fact, the game is all about automation. So we're going to jump into this one and see what we have in store. Now, the premise is fairly simple, I believe. My mother, or the character's mother, was a rocket scientist, and she died, or she passed away, or something happened, not quite sure, and we have been living with our aunt over here. As you can see, there is a lot of sort of automation equipment already around the place that is in a sort of dilapidated state. Part of our role is going to be cleaning it up and hopefully automating things and fixing them and making it all good. This over here is the rocket silo, and I believe that the end goal of the full game, the full version of the game, will be to automate the construction of, well, whatever is inside the rocket silo, namely a rocket. Now, in order to do that, we have to go through some sort of like little tutorial stuff. It's pretty painless, but it'll be a good sort of example of what this game is all about and how all of the sort of automation works. So let's get cracking on that, shall we? Right, we've been given a hammer by our auntie here, and the hammer is the primary thing that we can use to destroy all the stuff in the world, which is what I'm going to do in order to give us a bunch of resources, which we can then use to start building our brand new buildings. Alright, so cleaned up the main sort of playable area here, which is quite nice. We've got a journal, which we can use to basically craft a whole bunch of things, like, basically straight away, which I always think is really nice when you have the ability to just immediately jump into some of the more, you know, interesting automation sort of components of the game. Also, if you're noticing a few sort of comparisons to Stardew Valley, that is definitely sort of intentional. There are some sort of, like, friendship mechanics as well. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in the automation sort of stuff. There is a world which is kind of cool as well. There's like research which can be done at the university, machine shop, train station. I can imagine going here for sort of specialist parts or something. So it's kind of like an extra sort of layer on top of your automation game. That might be for some people, might not be for others. I'm ambivalent about it as long as I can make some conveyor belts, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. Now, we have an objective to create 10. By smashing up all of that stuff, I have given myself a bunch of components. And in fact, they're all down here in my inventory. We got some iron plates, we got some stones, more iron plates, copper wires, gears, and then of course those 10 conveyors that I have just crafted. So after the conveyor belt, it's all about the furnace. And something which I really quite like about the sort of automated buildings in this game. They all have like entry points, which means that you don't need to faff around with inserters. Now, I believe that there are inserters in the game, and we'll probably get to that in due course. But for now, we can at least get some conveyors just rolling right on up to the sort of front door, if you'd like, which is kind of nice. Now, we need to add iron and we need to add coal. I'm going to mine a little bit of iron and a little bit of coal here. There is, of course, a way that we can automate the extraction of coal and iron in due course, but I believe that is a bit of kit at the research establishment, namely the university, which we will do in a bit. Now, there might be a way for me to transfer all the resources into the furnace. However, if there is, I haven't figured it out, so I need to sort of manually hold and press that. Either way, we're able to nab ourselves a iron ingot, which is quite nice. We can pick that up, looking pretty good. Yeah, nice. Very, very happy with that. Okay, an assembler is next. Let's get that assembled. It's just going to take a few bits of plate, and in fact, we can get an assembler. I mean, build it like here? Sure, let's do that. And then we're going to want to craft, I believe we're going to want to craft iron plates. We need to power the assembler using a power pole, which I'll do in just a sec. Let's get this thing hooked up. Sure, like that. Looking good. Nice. So, we're not quite automated yet. We need to integrate a power pole into the mix. Now, the way that power works in this game is quite simple. You just build a power pole, or indeed a small wind turbine. It's going to cost us a little bit of copper wire, but thankfully when we destroy power poles, the old power poles, we can get new ones. We already have an existing, like, little bit of power infrastructure here, which is fine. It's not crazy. I don't think it's going to power things for long, but it's good. It's good at least in the sort of early stages. Right, we got to chain a second assembler together, which I am going to do. I don't believe that there's any restriction on where I can build. I mean, I want to build close in order to try and, you know, save on parts. But I don't believe that there's any restriction on where specifically we can build. Let's get that in there. Beautiful. And then we're going to configure you to make conveyor belts. Yeah, it's literally just that simple. Very, very nice indeed. And I know what Auntie's going to say next. Auntie is going to say, let's build an item receiver, which is a place that we can store stuff. But you know what? We'll go through the motion. We'll speak to her, and we'll get permission to build a receiver. Sure, why the heck not? Right. Craft a receiver. Boom, crafted. And then again, we just need to make sure that there is a little bit of a gap. And we pick up the conveyor belts there. And we place down the conveyor belts. And what do you know? Look at that. We have effectively automated the construction of conveyor belts. Very, very good indeed. Of course, we don't have any way to automate the iron extraction or the coal extraction, but that's fine. We can pop a few more bits in manually in order to fulfill the objective of collecting 10 coal belts. Sure. And just like that, we have collected all of the required 10 conveyor belts. Very nice. Let's talk to Auntie and see what you have got to give us next as an objective. It's going to the university. Yeah, so as I think I pointed out earlier, the university is over here. I'm going to use the wonders of editing to teleport right outside the front of it. Man, I love magic. Look at that. Amazing. We're here. Right, let's head on in. And there's a little bit of a cutscene, which basically you are just going to say that you're happy that I'm back in town, and then you're going to tell me how to do the research in the game, which is grand, but we don't really need to watch it, to be honest. Right, with that out of the way, it's something to do with the fact that the university has no money, and therefore we're kind of helping with things by doing research. But either way, Rebecca is going to give us the opportunity to research, well, two things, actually. I have the opportunity to unlock Tier 2, which is going to give me access to a heatsink, a stator, and a small motor. It's going to cost me 50 gears, 25 bearings, and 40 copper wire. Alternatively, we can get the drill done. That's Tier 1 as well. I think the drill is what we're after. Now, we need 60 gears in order to do that. We already have 39. The way that it works is that there is this thing out of the front here. There's a little drop box, and we can just add all of the components in, and that will count as progress towards our objective. So yeah, I think I'm going to unlock the drill. We'll see if we can try and manufacture a drill, and then we'll maybe see if we can try and get some other automated processes up and running. By the way, you can see that there's a whole bunch of sort of existing scrap stuff that I can destroy. Apparently, I have free reign to just go absolutely ham on this town, which seems like a tremendous degree of trust or a tremendous degree of crime, quite frankly. But either way, that's fine. I don't know if we can build conveyor belts between the different areas, but it doesn't particularly matter. Let's get this set up. Let's get this configured so that we can manufacture some gears, and then let's get crafting his gears. It requires iron plates. Okay, yeah, so we literally just want to make this iron plates, this gears. Yeah, perfect. And then we just add all of the components. Cool. Goods have been acquired. Let's head back to the university, pop them in, and unlock the drills. And boom, it's in. University drill research is ready. Now, do we unlock that directly, or do we need to go and actually do we need to speak to somebody here? Do we need to speak to somebody? Research desk is 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, that's fine. We'll come back tomorrow. Jeez Louise, get off my back. It's fine. Oh, hello. Can you just give me the... Can you give me the... Can you give me the tech? No? Okay. Alright. Yeah, alright. It's the bureaucracy, honestly. Anyway, we'll come back tomorrow morning. It's fine. Oh, yeah. I'm also supposed to be repairing this robot thing here. We need to unlock the tier 2 parts in order to unlock the pieces required for Pico. Yeah, well, we can add the 5 gears right now, sure, what the heck. But the heatsink, the stator, and the bearings, I believe, Well, that's the bearings, but the other ones are level 2, I think, for sure. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have to work on. Anyway, we'll head to bed, we'll save the game, and we will move on to a brand new day. We have a lovely little recap. We mined 386 resources, apparently. I guess that includes the destruction of scrap. 96 ore smelted, not bad. 172 items produced. 60 research material delivered, 5 building supplies, 1 day without an accident. Good, but we didn't make any money. And I suspect that we're going to very shortly learn how to make money. We apparently have 50 coins in our back pocket. Ooh, there's also some kit up here, which is quite good. And there's some TV, which is going to show us the weather. Fine. Don't particularly care about that. Anything at the desk that I want to talk about or touch? No. Okay, cool. Well, let's go and get some more processes automated downstairs. We'll at least make a start on a new production line because we're going to need conveyor belts and gears anyway. So we'll start on that, and then we'll probably head across the university when that opens at 9, I think, and see if we can try and get this tech unlocked, and maybe some of the new tech unlocked too. Alright, new production line is up and running. It's in a little bit of a funky setup, but I basically wanted to give it enough space from this existing one, and also just still be in the same area as the power cord. Either way, let's get it loaded up with coal. Let's get the iron in as well. This belt is gonna, or this line is gonna make conveyor belts, which I think is fine. You need to make conveyor belts. There we go. Great. You make plates, then you make conveyor belts. So that's at least going to give us some conveyor belt production. I don't know if we're going to need more. I would imagine, given the amount of conveyor belts that are sort of chilling around here, we're going to need quite a few, but there we go. Anyway, let's take as much stuff as we possibly can to the university. We'll go and unlock this, and we'll see what we need for Tier 2. Also, looking at the side of the university, it looks like there's a way to automate resources in. That seems pretty cool. I'm very interested in that. Very, very much so. So, I don't know, there's a lot of, like, pretty decent automation for a game that looks like there really shouldn't usually be a lot of automation in it. So, I'm really enjoying what I see so far. It's really good. Okay, the blueprint for the drill has been unlocked. Great. We get a nice little bit of photographic memory for the occasion. The drill has been researched. Happy days. A robot arm. Okay, that's going to require 80 gears and 20 heat sinks. Do I have the components on me right now? I totally do. I'm not going to do that because I want to see if I can try and work towards Tier 2. What do we need? 40 copper wire? That's a little bit of a shame. The bearings, we don't have the ability to do either. I think we probably want to do this. We can do the gears. We can do the gears and basically the copper wires right now. We're going to have to amend a little bit of a production setup, but I'm going to deposit these gears in here, get them out of my inventory. I'll throw in 2 bearings as well. I'm going to keep the copper wire on me just in case I need to make another power pole, because power poles require copper wire. But that's fine. Other than that, I don't think there's going to be anything stopping us from just whapping down a brand new production line and seeing if we can try and crank out some bearings. Do need to check what the recipe actually is for bearings, but frankly, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. And there's a little nook right here that is effectively just willing to be turned into another production line. There we go. One of those bad boys. Brilliant. And we'll build the assembler first, just in case I need to build a second one. Right, bearing is just iron plate. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, well, I tell you what, build the iron plate here then. And then build a brand new assembler. We throw that down here. Oh, we're out of power, are we? We're totally out of power. Okay, that's fine. Well, what can we do? We can build a wind turbine, a small wind turbine. See, this is why I kept the copper wire. I don't know. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling. We're also going to need to craft another power pole, which is fine. We're also probably going to need to get some drills up and running. Yeah, let's go here. That's looking good. Let's get the power pole deployed. Very nice. Deploy it here. That feels good enough. We'll get the furnace here. This is not a very efficient setup, just all things considered, to be honest. Let's go. Oh, I cannot see which way I'm going. I have absolutely no idea which. I have no idea which way this is pointing. That's fine. Good. And oh yeah, good. I need to check the recipe for a drill as well. What is a drill? It's literally just iron plates and gears. Okay. Let's build like 4 of these bad boys. Build 4 drills. Put them down. Hold on. Drills rocks automatically and produces stone and ore. Drill must face a resource. Okay. So it needs to go right there. Fine. I'm okay with that. Now, we don't have splitters. I've got to imagine that this game will have splitters in. But I think for now, our best bet is basically just to do the extraction. We do the extraction somewhat manually. And we just try and sort of feed... Oops. No, did not mean to do that. We just sort of try and feed all of our resources into a receptacle of some sort. There we go. Into a receptacle here. Yep. Something that I will say is that the controls are a little bit finicky. That's good. And... yeah, so I keep right-clicking when I should be left-clicking, apparently. That's fine. Okay, yeah, so we can't even merge 2 belts. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that, as long as we have the opportunity to unlock splitters or something of that ilk in the future, which I strongly suspect that we will. For now, we'll just nab 2 item receivers. We'll pop that down there. I'll need to move, and then pop another one down. Brilliant. Okay, get 1 more power pole potato and get that all plugged in. Beautiful. And then that will be us for at least a somewhat automated, somewhat hand-automated setup. But that's at least good. All right, so what did I need to get here? I need to get bearings. I need to get bearings. That's all ready to be produced. It's just a case of actually doing the producing. Should also probably extract copper, which I will do, and maybe get a very rough sort of copper supply chain set up. I mean, I don't think that's going to be overly complicated. We are going to have to make copper bars, but that's fine. Cool. All right, let's wait until these resources fill up a little bit, and we'll get a new copper supply chain on the go as well. Alrighty, just like that, we've got, like, our first properly automated line. We have a drill, which is doing a good amount of work here. We're smelting the copper into the furnace. We really don't require that much coal, which is okay, which I guess means that we could automate... well, I guess actually technically we could automate all of these lines if I wanted to use the same source twice, but I'm fine just sort of filling them up occasionally manually. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Although yeah, it would be nice to get this automated. Although I've built it in such a way that it is going to be a massive pain in the backside if I do want to automate it. It's not a huge deal to sort of do this. I could always sort of like manually throw the coal in. Can't remove chests that have items. Well, stop that there. Take the items out. Remove the chest, and then bada bim, bada boom. This is going to be slightly more challenging, though, because we're going to need to do this. Yeah, you know what? I'm committed to this idea now. I think at least for the ball bearing line... do we have the space here? Yeah, we totally do have the space. I think for the ball bearing line and the gear line, we can at least automate that with iron. So yeah, let's do that. How are we doing for ball bearings? I say ball bearings. They're not ball bearings. They're bearings, but they have ball bearings in them, I suppose. Yeah, we've got 14. Okay, so a little bit of time. That's fine. It's 8 p.m. in the evening. Let's get a few more bits of conveyor belt. Let's semi-automate this and then see where that leaves us. As ever with my automated setups, it's a little bit of a mess, but does it matter? No, not really, actually. I don't think it matters at all. I'm happy to manually fill up with coal. That's a-okay. We can squeeze an extra line in here at some point when we need to, you know, somehow. I mean, not like it really matters. I mean, conveyor belts, we need them, but we don't need them like we need the other stuff. So that's fine, at least. And we've got 14 conveyor belts on us. Cool. All right, let's go sleep, and then tomorrow we will go and deliver all of our spoils of automation. Actually, also that's a tennis ball that I just picked up, which I presume I can throw, and some dog or something will fetch it. Maybe eventually. I'm not sure. I think, you know what? I actually think production might continue overnight because I've woken up this morning, 50 ball bearings, 50 bearings, and 41. That is incredible. That's a huge amount. I mean, that'll absolutely keep us going. How many gears do we have? Oh my goodness, almost 200. Just in there alone. Okay, I'll yoink a few. We'll head on over to the university in a little bit because the research desk isn't open until 9. That's fine. Is there anything that I want to do in the meantime? No, throw the ball, I guess. Sure, don't particularly care. We could head on up to the observatory. Apparently that's got something in. But that's probably not going to be open either. Oh well, I guess we'll just head over to the university for the 9 o'clock open. All of the goods have been delivered. It's time to head on in and get the research done. Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you. What have we got? Heat sink, stator, and a small motor. Great. Research the assembler level 2 at the university. Okay, well, we might have the goods right now on us. 50 gears and 25 heat sinks. Okay, heat sinks, I imagine. Oh, they're just copper bars. Oh, that's easy. That's really easy. Okay. We'll get the assembler done. The robot... You know what? I tell you what. I could do the robot arm right now. I could absolutely do the robot arm right now. Sure. Let's go and bang these in. And then we'll see what else we can do. Yeah, that in there, that in there, that in there. Boom. Check off the research of the robot arm. That is the fastest research in the history of research. In the history of history. We did it. An underpass. Gears. No. I didn't even see that. 120 iron plates, which I don't actually currently manufacture, or the assembler. I'll start work on the assembler. That's fine. I'll drop off the gears that I have. We'll head back, and we will probably introduce a brand new line for the heat sinks. Only 13 gears, but that's fine. We got loads more at home. That's fine. Brand new production line. Who dis? Also had to build a little bit of additional power infrastructure. It's not super efficient, but I mean, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. I've also built a few more turbines over here. What I really need to be doing, actually, like legitimately, is throwing... See, I need iron plate. That's basically what I need. I need to throw down another drill, and I need to just have a... I need to have a line that just produces iron plate. It's not the sexiest thing to do, but, I mean, it's kind of needed, so I guess I should just, you know, just get on with it and do it. Okay, that production line is now all set up. We're using the same iron source twice, but, I mean, I don't think it's going to be too problematic. Either way, let's grab all of the gears that we could possibly need. I think I actually have... I've got so much junk in my inventory. But you know what? I'll take more. I'll take more. What the heck? We'll also go and get the heat sinks. I'm pretty sure we'll have more than 25. Yeah, brilliant. And I'll grab a few extra bearings just in case we need anything. I don't think we will. But yeah, cool. Let's head to the uni and see if there's anything else to unlock that we can get with our current supplies. And a yoink, and suddenly we have researched the assembler level 2, which is going to give me the ability, I guess, to unlock the small motor. Yeah, we need that. We need the small motor. I didn't even assume. I just assumed that the small motor would only be buildable, and the stator, I guess. Yeah, would only be buildable in the assembler level 2. So that's fine. That's okay. Brilliant. Let's get cracking, see if there's any additional research. Oh, look at this. These chutes have been covered up for far too long. I can add this stuff automatically. Look at this. We can get ourselves a whole brand new production area. Aha. Okay. Lots of complex components for our research. A drop box isn't going to cut it. We're going to have to use all of the chutes. Very cool indeed. Yeah. Okay. How many components are we going to need? Let's see. Right. The tier 2 furnace is going to require 200 stone, 150 gears, and 20 small motors. So that's not, like, necessarily the end of the world. The underpass is maybe something that I do want to research right now, or at least start work on researching. Add all the missing components to Pico. We're going to go and do that in just a sec. I need to achieve max throughput on assembler production through copper wire. Okay. And I guess we probably have to do that out... Oops. We probably have to do that out here. Is there a copper source over here at all? I don't think so. There's stone sources, there's coal sources, but it doesn't look like there's any copper. Unfortunately. Oh, it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't necessarily need to be out here. It just needs to be sort of in general. Okay. A little bit of train infrastructure over here. I don't think there's much that I want to be doing out in this area, but look at how much scrap there is. Oh, almost got run over there. Lots and lots of different buildings. All right. What's going on here? Okay, I've just talked to him. He gave us a camera. Useful for taking screenshots and GIFs. Remarkable. You gonna give me anything else? No, that's fine. Okay, so this is maybe something that's going to be useful at some point in the future, but that's fine for now. All right, let's go and see if we can try and add all of the components to Pico and fix this little house robot thing. And apparently we've got a dog. I skipped some conversation. We've got a dog now. We got Leo. This is the tennis ball individual that apparently, or this is the reason the tennis balls kept appearing on the porch. That's fine. Anyway, what do I need? What do I need to fix Pico? Heat sinks, yoink, right in there. Bearings, right in there. And the stators, it's just 2 of them. So let's see if we can try and maybe, like, force... I say force make. We're not really going to force make. We need more iron plates. It's fine. We're just going to manually craft. Manually craft in the assembler, which is a bit of an oxymoron, I realize. But I'm a bit of an oxymoron. So, you know, we can somehow I managed to pull it off. Right. Okay. This is a big boy. This is a chunky lad, as they say. Right. Is there anywhere that's currently electrified that's not terrible? Not really, to be honest. Yoink it down there. Fine. I'll just build a pole. We can do it. And in fact, I should probably build a couple of these things because we'll need them. Right. Thankfully, our power hasn't completely gone. I don't actually know how to check the power situation, so I'm just adding turbines whenever we need to. Right. What can I make? I can make more assemblers. I can make drills. I can make item receivers. Okay. But all I really want to make is the stator, right? And so I need gears, and I need copper wire. Thankfully, that is ludicrously easy for me to do. The gears just get added manually, and the wires as well. Add that manually. Sure. Pop out 2 stators. Beautiful. Well, as soon as I pick you up, there we go. 2 stators. That's great. Pico, buddy, you're getting back on. You're coming back online. We're out of coal in all of those furnaces, but I don't really care because we are gonna go here and we're gonna fix you, and you're gonna speak ChatGPT to me. That's fine. Okay. Good. Yeah, she won't let me see inside the rocket silo. Yeah, Auntie's not keen for me to do any work on the silo. I wonder if we could use that to unlock the door from the inside. Let's go take a look. Okay, I can't believe that, but we did say it all in earshot of Auntie. So that's fine. Either way, Pico, on you go. Go and explore this. Skip this. Okay. Hey! Oh, look at this. We're in. We are in. Okay, so we have 3 objectives. To fix the west and the east server, and also to fix the terminal. Anything that I can do right now. Pretty much can do that right now. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, there's going to be so much. There's going to be so much stuff to do. 20 stators. And... oh, man, this is great. This is great. I like this. There's so many inputs. And when you know there's lots of inputs, that means that there's going to be lots of requirements. Okay, so we need 10 motors and 20 stators. I am going to go and do that. I think we can absolutely do that. The rest of the stuff, yeah, 10 motors, 20 stators. I can absolutely do that. Let's get this rocket silo back up and running. Right, I got bored of feeding this machine manually, so I have set it up to take all of the gears and take all of the copper wire. And with that, I'm going to head to bed, and tomorrow, hopefully, we should have a heck of a lot more stators ready to go, and then from there, it's just a simple case of building the motors. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. 61 stators. Very nice. Now, if I want to convert you to work with the small motor, We're going to need to get bearings. Bearings are a little bit more annoying, although we only need 10 of these. So I think I genuinely could manually feed them this time. Sure, yeah, I think I'll just do that. That's fine. Okay, that's our 13 small motors. I think that should be enough ingredients for pretty much everything. I'm going to take some more iron plate because I think that's also what we need. Let's go and check out if that is all of the components to fix the silo. Alrighty, terminal first. What do we need? We need some copper wires, and we need 5 heat sinks. Gosh darn it. Now with actual heat sinks. There we go. Get the terminal turned on. Get the... what is this? West server, I guess? Sure, West server. Get that turned on. Brilliant. And we'll go and get the East server turned on. Now, what I'm kind of thinking is that if there's all of these input things here, that's fine, because it means all of the belts and infrastructure that we have outside can power it. But if there's also inputs down at the university, then I strongly suspect that we're kind of... we kind of have to try and have these sort of little distributed hubs of production. You know, we can have all of the research components being made at the university. I don't think it's going to be realistic to transport resources a long way. Doesn't look like there's any tech to do that. There's tech that allows you to cross rivers and stuff, but I don't think there's tech that allows you to do long range stuff. What are you doing on there, buddy? What are you doing on there? You're causing mischief. That's what you're doing. Right, let's go and talk to Auntie. Let's bring up the sort of family trauma. See what she says. I know you said not to go into the silo, but we've been working hard and we've repaired things. She's mad. And honestly, I get it. I understand. But anyway, it's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good in the end. Anyway, after all of that chat, me and Auntie, we're gonna work on the silo together. But in order to start the quest of working together, we need to get the doors open, and apparently we need to give Auntie 20 heavy-duty motors, which sounds like something you would probably only see in this game. We are actually going to wrap things up right about there. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of this game, quite frankly. I have no idea how much tech there is. I have no idea how many other locations there are that are interesting and explorable. But judging by the amount of space that we have behind the rocket silo, judging by the amount of space that we have in our front guard, and judging by the amount of space next to the university, I would suggest that there's probably quite a lot of stuff. There's probably quite a lot of stuff here. So, yeah, I am really, like, in a very, very surprising way, absolutely digging how this is all coming together. Don't let this game fool you. It is not a cutesy, all good in the world sort of game. This is good automation. This is really high quality, polished, really decently feeling automation mechanics, and I am absolutely here for that. 2 thumbs up for me. Definitely give this one a look. Wishlist it if indeed you're interested. But anyway, folks, thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Orbital Potato. I'll catch you next time. Bye.